Thousands of legends from every corner of the world share one chilling idea. Something enormous lives beneath the sea. From ancient Nordic folklore to modern internet mysteries, stories of terrifying ocean creatures continue to haunt the human imagination. Today, you'll discover 5 of the most mysterious and frightening, among them far beyond the coast of Iceland, where freezing winds sweep across the North Atlantic and the sea can turn deadly within minutes. Old sailors spoke of a creature known as Skjoldr. They believed its appearance meant certain disaster, and no one could explain why it surfaced only when the ocean became unnaturally calm, moments before violent waves crashed across the horizon. Skjoldr is a legendary sea monster from Old Nordic folklore. Witnesses described it as a colossal dark figure with a perfectly smooth head rising from the water, towering high above the tallest sailing ships. Sometimes enormous pale arms emerged beside it, each finger as long as the mast of a vessel. Some legends claimed the creature reached heights of nearly 100 feet. The name Skjoldr is believed to come from an ancient Norse word connected with shadows and protection, although historians still debate its true origin. According to the oldest tales, the monster was born from the restless spirits of sailors who vanished during violent storms. It was said to smash ships apart with incredible strength before dragging every survivor into the freezing depths. What's fascinating is that remarkably similar stories appear throughout Iceland, Norway, and the Faroe Islands. In 1819, a merchant vessel reportedly disappeared after its captain wrote in the ship's journal, "The sea has gone silent." Local fishermen believed Skjoldr had claimed another victim. Even during the 20th century, some crews continued reporting the sight of a massive black shape slowly rising from the ocean. Scientists have suggested that unusual whale behavior, giant squid, or rare optical illusions may have inspired these legends. Yet, no confirmed scientific expedition has ever discovered evidence that Skjoldr truly exists. So if you ever find yourself crossing the North Atlantic and the roaring wind suddenly disappears, don't assume you've escaped the storm. The silence itself might be the warning. Along the rugged coastline of New Zealand lies a network of underwater caverns stretching deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. Divers have explored only a fraction of these flooded passages, and local legends claim one terrifying creature has made them its home. They call it Tavora, a predator that attacks without warning before disappearing back into complete darkness. Tavora is described as a horrifying combination of a giant squid and a moray eel. It possesses dozens of muscular tentacles surrounding a long serpentine body covered in dark scales. At the center of its head sits a mouth lined with rows of razor-sharp teeth capable of crushing thick wooden boats. According to local stories, Tavora can grow over 70 feet long, making it one of the largest creatures ever imagined beneath the sea. No one knows where the name Tavora originated. Some believe it comes from old Polynesian words describing endless darkness beneath the waves. For generations, coastal communities claimed fishing boats occasionally vanished without leaving behind floating debris. Survivors spoke of enormous tentacles wrapping silently around their vessels before pulling everything underwater. Marine biologists believe these stories may have been inspired by encounters with giant squid or extremely large sharks. The largest giant squid ever recorded measured over 40 feet, but Tavora is consistently described as much larger. Even more mysterious is the fact that many underwater cave systems around New Zealand remain almost completely unexplored. Some descend hundreds of feet below sea level into isolated chambers that have never been mapped. Such environments continue fueling speculation that unknown marine species could still exist beyond human observation. Whether Tavora is real or not remains impossible to prove. But for those who dive into these endless underwater caves, the darkness still feels alive. In 1997, researchers detected one of the strangest underwater sounds ever recorded. It echoed across thousands of miles through the southern Indian Ocean before disappearing forever. While scientists eventually proposed natural explanations, The internet transformed the mysterious signal into something far more terrifying. People imagined the source as a gigantic creature called the Hollow Echo, a beast larger than any animal known to science. According to online legends, it stretches nearly 300 feet in length, easily surpassing the largest whales ever discovered. Some stories claim the Hollow Echo possesses extraordinary intelligence and deliberately avoids all forms of human detection. Others believe it communicates using extremely low-frequency vibrations that humans cannot hear directly, but can somehow feel, creating sudden anxiety or fear without any visible cause. The mysterious sound originated in one of the most remote places on Earth, thousands of miles from civilization at incredible ocean depths that remain almost unexplored. Later investigations suggested shifting ice may have created the signal. Although researchers admitted its structure seemed unusually biological, the legend exploded across forums, documentaries, and online communities. Many pointed out that the coordinates lay disturbingly close to locations associated with fictional sea monsters from classic horror literature. Soon the Hollow Echo became one of the internet's most famous deep-sea legends. Several scientific expeditions later returned to the region, hoping to capture another signal, but nothing remotely similar was ever detected. Even stranger, some recording equipment experienced unexplained failures during the missions, inspiring theories that the creature somehow interfered with electronic devices. Since that single recording, no identical sound has ever been heard again. Whether it was simply nature or evidence of something far more mysterious remains unanswered. Long before modern astronomy explained eclipses, ancient civilizations searched for supernatural answers. Along the western coast of Scotland, people believed that whenever the moon seemed to disappear, a monstrous sea creature had risen from beneath the waves to devour its light. Its name was Morveth. Morveth was described as an immense sea serpent whose body stretched so far across the ocean that entire islands seemed tiny beside it. Legends claimed its mouth was large enough to swallow the moon itself, while its dark scales reflected almost no light beneath the night sky. The creature's appearance was not simply used to explain eclipses. People believed every rise of Morveth disturbed the balance of the sea. Villagers rushed to the shoreline, beating drums, ringing church bells, and lighting enormous bonfires in hopes of frightening the beast away before disaster struck. Over time, Morveth became more than an explanation for celestial events. It represented humanity's fear of the uncontrollable forces hidden beneath the ocean. Fishermen claimed that before violent storms, coastal waters became strangely silent. Seabirds disappeared and fish abandoned the shoreline altogether. Some stories even suggested Morveth's movements changed ocean temperatures and influenced powerful currents, bringing floods, poor harvests, and disappearing marine life. From a scientific perspective, these legends reveal how people once used storytelling to understand events they could not explain. Yet Morveth continues appearing in novels, games, artwork, and modern fantasy, remaining a powerful symbol of the ocean's endless mystery. Now we arrive at the final creature considered by many to be the most terrifying sea monster ever imagined. Its name is Narethis. According to legend, Narethis is an unimaginable predator stretching well over 2,000 feet long, dwarfing every known marine animal. Its body resembles an enormous abyssal serpent with thick armored skin and countless scars, earned over thousands of years beneath crushing ocean pressure. Its eyes are small, pale, and almost lifeless, perfectly adapted to complete darkness. Witnesses claimed they reflected no emotion whatsoever, only endless silence. The earliest surviving account dates back to 1588, when Portuguese explorer Miguel Carvalho described encountering an enormous creature emerging from dense ocean fog. He claimed its mouth was larger than a lifeboat, and that its body continued disappearing into the mist for so long he never saw where it ended. Most original documents were eventually lost, but surviving references inspired centuries of terrifying stories. Modern descriptions portray Narethis as a terrifying blend of an ancient sea serpent and a prehistoric predator. Its massive jaws contain rows of long curved teeth, while 6 pale eyes stretch across its forehead in 2 perfect lines, supposedly allowing it to detect movement even within absolute darkness. Unlike other legendary monsters, Narethis is never described making a sound. It simply glides through the deepest parts of the ocean like a living shadow. Since the early 2000s, Narethis has spread rapidly throughout English-speaking internet communities, appearing on cryptid forums, horror channels, digital encyclopedias, and fictional archives. Entire articles, illustrations, fabricated historical records, and eyewitness reports have transformed it into one of the internet's most recognizable ocean legends. Even knowing Narethis exists only as digital folklore, its image continues unsettling millions of people. Not because anyone believes it is real, but because it represents something humanity still cannot fully understand. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, yet much of it remains unexplored. And perhaps that is why stories like these continue to survive. They remind us that the greatest mysteries are often hidden where no light can reach.